What's going on, guys? We're back working on the HEMI swap Jeep Renegade, and in this part of the build, we're going to be 3D printing a roll cage. I know what you're thinking. Why a 3D printed roll cage? Well, it's just going to be temporary. I've never really built a roll cage or a roll bar, anything like that. I do have the tools for it, but I've just never really done it. So I figured instead of wasting a bunch of material, I'd go ahead, design everything in CAD, 3D render everything first, print it out, and then see if it even fits. Because this is my first time doing it. I'm gonna mess up. I figure it'd be much easier to design everything on the computer first, print it out, make sure it actually fits in the car, and then if there are any issues fitment-wise, then I can always just print it out again, make some revisions, you know, keep trying till it actually does work. Again, I'm not a professional, barely even an amateur, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I figured that's not gonna stop me. I'm still gonna mess up, still gonna keep pushing through this thing, and do whatever it takes to get this thing back on the road. So figured the main benefits are really going to be I can design everything, make sure it fits, make sure it looks good, and I can easily make changes, make revisions. If it doesn't work out, I can move a few things. You know, I got to fit in with aftermarket seats, fit in underneath the headliner and between the door panels. Got to make sure all that fits nice and snug. Don't want to waste too much space either. And one of the biggest benefits I can think of is cost savings. 3D printer filament, I get for like $10 a kilogram. I can print out all kinds of stuff and not go through a whole lot. But I just priced out 1 3/4 DOM tubing. It's like $13 a foot. And messing up a 20-foot stick of that is gonna get real expensive real quick. But first, we're gonna have to 3D scan the whole interior of this car. So let's jump into that. When it comes to the 3D scanner, I'm using the Shining 3D Einstar. Looks a little different because I do have a 3D printed handle on here. Just makes it a lot easier to hold. Originally, yeah, you just had to hold on to it, kind of had a rubber grip on there. It was all right, but this is way easier, more ergonomic, you know, push buttons here, just better all around. And the scanner comes with its own software, and it's actually really easy to work with this. This device does have to be plugged in. I know there are handheld ones that it's all built in. Those are much more expensive. The cost on this thing's right around $1,000. It's really not that bad considering what it is. I have had it for about a year, maybe more than that. So I'm sure prices are probably lower now and there might be other options that are better, but this is what I have and it does all right for me. So one more thing I wanted to bring up. This is 3D Scan Spray. It helps the scanner see dark materials, reflective materials. It gives the scanner a reference in case it can't really see the surface of an object. It has problems with, you know, reflective surfaces, glass, stuff like that. Gloss black, it really doesn't like that. So you can spray this on, gives a good dull finish, and this stuff actually vanishes. It sublimates, so after about 24 hours, you can't even tell it was sprayed on there at all. So I have used like foot spray. I've seen where you can do like baby powder mix and whatnot, and overall that stuff's pretty bad. Yeah, we can go take a look. I sprayed some on the car a while back and it is still on there. Yeah, you can see all these markers here. That does not want to come off. It's all up in here. I hosed it off, pressure washed. It does not want to come off. And it's just every little nook and cranny. It's really not a good idea. I know I tried to cheap out by doing baby powder mix, foot spray, and overall it's just a pretty bad experience. So I guess we'll go ahead, jump in here. Shouldn't have to spray anything. Everything's a pretty dull finish or textured enough that it won't get lost and should get a pretty good scan. All right, so I got the laptop set up, 3D scanner ready to go. Let's see what it does. All right, looks like it's going to work pretty good. So it is really dark in here. This thing does put out its own light, but I also have a couple lights set up here. See if it works. It may struggle, but yeah, it looks like it's picking up pretty good. So now all I got to do is slowly work my way from this side of the car all the way to the other side, capturing everywhere where the roll cage is going to mate up with, going from these strut towers down to the base, and then up across the head, and then up across the headliner. Make sure we have good clearance there. I'm also probably going to scan the floor back here because I still have to sheet metal all this in. So I might do a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. But anyway, I'll go ahead, put a time lapse on here, knock this thing out. All right, so the scan is looking pretty good. I'm gonna have to go through, clean all this up, get rid of all the stuff we don't need, and then drop it into Fusion 360. That way we'll be able to actually build some geometry on top of here. But it's looking good for now, so we'll go ahead and jump inside. We got Fusion 360 pulled up on the screen. You can see this isn't the same scan we had. I've already been doing this for quite a while now, but it's pretty much what we had out in the car. These are the base plates that we're going to be mounting the roll cage to, roll bar, whatever you want to call it. These are the base plates for the front main hoop. They're going to be attaching to the frame, side rail and top rail on both driver and passenger side, right behind the seat. So this is an older scan with the factory seat still in there. And so yeah, I'm not going to lie about that. But everything is still there. Dimensionally, it's all going to be the same. So I guess we'll go ahead and start dropping in parts of the roll cage. Here we go. So front on view, we got the main hoop coming up across. I got the top cut off because, you know, you won't be able to see down in there. We can turn it off. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I got the layer of the headliner and the layer of the roof. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, but we're looking pretty tight in there. About a finger gap all the way around it. Not a whole lot of wiggle room, keeping it nice and tight. And coming down along here by the door panel, it's just about to touch. Got maybe a credit card gap, but as long as it's not touching, now that's all that matters. Ugh, I didn't cut that end off. But, so cage is all sorted out. Let's see if I can hide. Let's look at the passenger side. All right, just looking at the passenger side here, you can see the main hoop is leaning back. I think it was about 7 degrees, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but we have a horizontal top bar clearing the back door and then landing down on the rear strut tower. I wanted to keep that bend here just so we could get good clearance through the doorway. Not gonna have back passengers, but I didn't want it to be sticking out so much that it was blatantly obvious that there was a cage in here. Roll bar. I'm gonna keep saying cage. I know it's not really a cage, but anyways, yeah, you can see harness bar coming straight across here, tying in. I think I'm actually gonna tie in a bent harness bar after I've kind of looked into it. It's looking like might be a little better option to get rid of that horizontal straight harness bar and put a bent harness bar. It curves back around, gives adequate clearance for the seat. It would actually clear the factory seat if I wanted to put that back in there, but I'm not going to be doing that. With that bent harness bar, I'll be able to lean the seat back a little more. It's already in a good driving position, but if I ever did want to lean it back, you know, it'll be there for an option. So now that we have all the bars sorted out, we'll be able to jump into the 3D printing portion of this. I mean, that's kind of the whole reason for this. So go ahead and swap it over to a straight harness bar again, get rid of that, hide those, and now we'll go into the jigs for 3D printing. So you can see all the various pieces that are going to help out with the install of this cage and the actual pieces being 3D printed here. I have various brackets that are going to be supporting everything. This driver's side support is going to hold the horizontal harness bar up to the main hoop. And I have notches, tube notch ends. That's a sleeve that's going to go over the end of the harness bar. That'll allow me to mark it out and get a really good notch on there. And you can check out down on the base plates here. I have another jig for cutting at the correct angle. And I have this bracket that's going to hold everything in place. That's going to be there for when I actually do the steel. I got gaps in here. So I have gaps in here so I can reach in, weld a little bit. I don't know if it's really going to work. I'll probably just weld around the outside here. But I figured I might as well take that into account while I'm working on it. And same situation for the rear strut tower. Nice and beefy. It'll be able to hold all the steel up, and I'll be able to get a good weld across the top. No issues with that. Let me see if I can just hide the car body real quick. There we go. Now we can see in there a little better. And yeah, that's the cage all by itself. You can see all the black pieces are 3D printed brackets, guides, things that are going to hold things in place. It's going to hold the plastic pieces in place, the 3D printed parts in place, but they'll also be used for when I go to weld everything in with steel. It's going to hold the steel pieces in place as well. I guess we can get rid of the steel bars and we can go to the actual pieces that I'll be printing. So here we have a 68-degree bend. I actually have the degrees embossed on this tube. 68 degrees there, 59 degrees there. And although the back bar is kind of at a weird angle, it's all on the same plane. So it's only one bend, nothing really to worry about. It looks a little complex, but it's actually super easy. And this bend here, 22 degrees. And I also have a known length of the 3D printed piece, so that way I'll be able to mark my steel tube, set it in the die, add that mark, hopefully not make any mistakes, and get a good bend in the right spot where I need to. So that wraps up the design of the cage. Let's go ahead and start 3D printing some parts. Alright, so we got some parts fresh off the printer. It took less than 6 hours, 185 grams. Really not that bad. These rolls pretty much use exclusively Elegoo Rapid PETG. $10 a roll. You can get them on sale 4 for $40. Not a bad deal. But check these out. 22 degrees on that bend, 68 degrees on that one. That way I'll be able to... Oh, that's barely sitting there. I went ahead, put the 22 degree bend on there, just so I don't forget, so I don't get confused. I also put an alignment line on there. You see, it corresponds to that one, so these things stay in the same plane. So, but, oh, that popped off pretty easy. Yeah, we'll put that in there. So hopefully with these reminders, I won't mess up on the actual steel. You're looking at $1.85 worth of material, so it's really worth it, I think. Put in a little extra time, and hopefully no more mistakes. And we got another batch of parts coming off the printer. Here we got the top bars for the X. See if this actually pops off. I actually modeled these supports into the part. Hell yeah, that worked pretty good. So you can see the notch there. That's going to go along the side rails, and got a hole there so I can put a tie wrap through. It's all going to be, should be pretty easy to put together. And you can see the actual X here. Yeah, that's going to work out pretty good. All right, so here we have the entirety of the 3D printed roll cage. These are the parts of the main hoop. This is the top X bars. Here's the rear bends and the base plates for securing the cage to the car itself. And also have the various brackets here as well. You'll notice one thing though, I got a lot of straight pieces sitting around. These are actually PVC tubes, but check out on the ends, it's actually a 3D printed coupler. So I figured there's really no reason to 3D print a bunch of these straight sections. It's really just a waste of time and material when I can just grab a bunch of 1¼ PVC and chop it to length. So the next step is going to be final assembly of all the 3D printed parts, and then I'm going to go ahead and bolt it in the car. Aw, come here. Freaking wasps. It's looking pretty good. Fits in there. I do have a little bit of an issue where my design goes too far into that curve because I do have to put my little quick connect fittings here. That way I'll be able to actually put this half of the bar, the back half of the cage in, because there's no way I'm going to fit the whole thing in here all in one go without actually welding it all in place and pretty much make the whole bolt-in cage pointless. So yeah, gonna tweak that a little bit. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of stuff going on in a pretty tight space. But everything's got to be triangulated, and it's looking pretty good. Got a little gap there, but again, it's all just kind of temporary mocked up. Once I get the actual steel in place, everything will be tacked in, and it'll be pretty easy to go ahead with it. So I think we're looking pretty good. I like how it sits. The back is wide open. I'll be able to put anything in the back here, you know, speaker box, whatever, amp rack. Won't have to worry about if I were to have put bars coming across in the back. It would be a lot more rigid, but, you know, it'd be taking out a lot of space. And this car's really not being built for that. So, yeah, that'll work. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this part of the build. 3D printed roll cage is knocked out. Now it's time to move on to the steel cage. And all this work is going to make it that much easier. I know it's a whole lot of effort with not like a whole lot of payoff, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. Anyway, thank y'all for following along with the build so far. Thanks for liking, subscribing, comment below if I forgot something super obvious. I don't know what I'm doing, so any input is appreciated. So, alright, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.